had no other plans. It's like, I'm gonna be a pro and that's it. I feel like when you have that mentality and you're like that driven, that's when you make like dreams happen.
It was just like it's either this is gonna work or I can't even tell you what I would be doing because I don't know.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of First Blood, powered by Esports GG. Today, I'm with my co-host, the two-time GOAT and the world champion, Apathy. And then we're followed by, hopefully, going to be the Rookie of the Year of the 2022 MW2 season. All right, well, let's get right into it, Scrappy. We got lots of stuff to talk about. You're always a fun one to talk about just because you love talking shit, man. Like, that's it, right? So let's just bring it back a little bit. Let's reel it back in. Let's talk about Vanguard. Obviously, you know, I gassed you up a lot through the season. I was out there on the desk a little bit. You were a hot commodity, man. You played extremely well. Kind of just, I don't know, how did it feel to be probably like the number one Challengers player? Obviously, like through Cold War, you know, going way back to your career, you stopped playing, you played a little bit. And then through the Vanguard season, you played all the way through. And like I said, you're probably the number one prospect going into 2022 and MW2.
It was, at first, it all started with Minnesota. So it all started with winning Minnesota. And then right when I won Minnesota, it was, you're the hottest prospect. It's also nobody cares. It's like you still got to perform. So yeah. I try to just push it back in the back of my head. It's like, yeah, I'm the number one, but who cares? We got to keep going and keep winning. So it was all about what's coming forward.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I remember seeing you playing Cold War, and you're like making a name for yourself, and you're frying. But like, I never thought too crazy about you. Like, I knew you were a good player, but then like out of nowhere, you know, you're like this number one, you know, you're Fry, you're absolute war star. I'm like, damn, like this guy came like out of nowhere. Was there like a moment where you just like caught fire and you were just feeling yourself and start to dominate? Or did you just feel like slowly you're
I think it was kind of over the off season because I knew like how much you really had to play like to become a pro. Yeah. And so during Cold War, it was just like no life, just all tournaments. And I was like, dude, I don't want to do this. So I like kind of just like took a break and I was like, this is boring. But then during the off season, I was like, all right, I'm going to put my everything into it. Like, let's just put everything, like grind. And then 3 months later, I was on a pro team. So
that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I mean, I think for me, Scrap, I know I was gassing you up for a little bit. We were always doing little watch parties, watching some of the tournaments just from online. But I don't know for you specifically, but for me, it was the Pro-Am. I think that was when like everybody kind of was like, all right, damn, like this guy can actually play. Like you got to go under, you know, your AM team, go play against the big dogs. And what, you guys took out LAG first, right? Wasn't that it? I think is what I had that reaction video of you whenever you guys won. Yeah, it was 5-5, right?
That's we reverse swept them.
And you were popping off. I remember I watched you. You got like you killed Slasher and killed someone.
I flaked through tunnel and killed Chris or Spart back tower, and then fucking Ozzy got shit on.
No, but I remember watching that and I was like, damn, like this guy, he's the real deal. And I don't know, for me it was fun to see because it's cool to see like new people come up. Then obviously I know you and I spoke a little bit before, but I definitely want to talk about it early on in the podcast. Like, where does the confidence come from and like the mindset? Because I know this has been a spoke about thing for a lot of time, and I think that you and I, we both can talk about mindset. It's like everything in this industry, really in life. Like you got to have a good head on your shoulders. You got to be confident. I guess, where does that spark from or come from for you? You know, coming from the amateur scene, then playing against all these top dog players, like you treat.
Yeah, well, I'm from New Jersey, so it's one like you better be confident in yourself, or people are gonna run over you. People are gonna take advantage. So you got to be that. And I also have two older brothers that like have taught me a lot. And like you said, it's not just you got to be confident in gaming and confident. You got to be confident in life if you want to be successful. So I just bring that, like, be confident and actually believe it. I actually believe everything I say, everything I do. So that's what it is.
I think that's deep. I think that's something good to have, bro. Like, I think like when I was successful throughout my career, I was confident, you know, whether I was going to the gym, working out, feeling good. I was feeling good out of game and in game. And when I was confident, that's when I was performing the best. So it's good to see that in like a player like you, and I mean it's showing because you're definitely
that's
dominating.
Definitely one thing. Like the gym definitely helps with like confidence. Like not only just like your head, just like it's like look good, feel good. That's like how it is. So yeah,
that's the motto, man. Look good, feel good, play good, baby. That's what you got to live by. Absolutely. Well, speaking of NJ, You just said you're from Jersey. Obviously, how's the 6? I mean, I see the view behind you. It looks beautiful. It looks like a vibe. Like you just told me, like before we went live, you feel like the man when you walk through. You go to the elevator, you hit the penthouse button, and you're straight up to the top. How's it been in Toronto?
Insane. This is a dream come true, and I couldn't ask for anything more. I'm really, just to be honest, I wanted to get the game going. I'm ready to play.
Well, speaking of the game, I mean, obviously, like we just said, you're in Toronto. You got a whole new team around you. Obviously, for people who don't know, Scrappy was on the Toronto, basically amateur team last year, was on the bench, and now he's on the starting roster. Talk to me a little bit about the team. Talk to me a little bit about, what you're looking forward to. Obviously, like I said, you kind of watched these guys all play last year. Toronto's been a team for, what, is it 2 years, App, I want to say? Their whole roster, like with Bance, Insight, Kleenex, like they're finally split up. I guess talk to me a little bit about the team.
I think what people don't really know like about us is I've played with all of them outside of like what I'm playing now. So I teamed with Jamie and Cold War for a little. We didn't do so well, but also maybe a little. One of my teammates, I won't say who, but one of the teammates, he was pretty shit. All right, Andrew Onyx, he costed a lot. I did.
Jesus.
All right, and then Eli, we won a local LAN together in Jersey, in Black Ops 4.
What was that, like an
it was like Helix
or something like that?
Yeah, no. So Helix, it was okay. There's one in New Jersey, like 15 minutes from where I live, and then Toby, obviously, I filled in against New York with them last year. So I'm more excited, like actually growing as a team, because I kind of just filled in. And just like it was like I'm in and I'm out, you know what I mean? So I'm in and I'm gone. So I just really can't wait to just have a full team for a full year, every day, just grind and grind and grind, just get better as a team. So yeah.
I think that's that's like one of the best parts I think about competing is like growing as a team, building that chemistry, building that teamwork, getting like like how you want to play, like on the same page. Like
seeing results just thing, doesn't feel any better.
Results as a player and as a team, oh man, I miss that.
Crazy too, like bro, think about it back in our day, Brian, like when you were improving as a team or whatever, like bro, we were all over the world like playing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that same thing, like you are literally there for work, like Scrap, like you said, you moved from New Jersey, you're in Toronto, like you are literally working as a unit, you want to see results, because like we all know if you're not seeing results and you're all like putting in everything, you're putting in 10, 12-hour days every single day, you're losing, that shit is draining, bro. It is not fun. That's so like I don't know. You gotta make. No,
I keep that's the other thing about like us. Like my standards. Like whenever I'm on a team, no matter what team I'm on, I could be on any team in the world. I could be on FaZe, any other team, like the so-called best team. I'm bringing confidence to that team. I set standards. Like we're gonna get stuff done. So I can't wait.
That's good.
Do you feel comfortable with like the new, I know you said you've played with all these guys before, but like obviously this is the first time going through the pro league for you specifically. Like I know I think you played one pro league match under Toronto last year just versus New York, right? Are you like, I guess not say you have any worries, but like, do you think the chemistry will be there with, like I said, Toronto's been a team for so long. Insight now, obviously not having, you're in Cammy's shoes. Then you have Standy now there. So like, how do you think that'll kind of all play into, are you guys vibing out?
100%. That's one thing about Toronto in general is this isn't just a team where like, oh, we just play COD. Like we go to the facility, we go back to our apartments. We're in the facility, outside, we're going to get dinner. We'll come back to someone's apartment. We'll watch football. We'll watch anything. And just vibe, because we know that like team chemistry is a big role in like actually having a successful team, and not just in Call of Duty, in every sport in the world. So we really push that hard.
I mean, dude, I don't know. Looking at your team too, I'm excited to watch you guys because you guys do have an interesting dynamic. Obviously, like I feel like Toronto as a whole for a long time has been known as kind of like the 2-3-5 specialist. People have always looked at it that way, and I feel like you guys still kind of have that dynamic. I think you guys can be a very strong respawn team, but I feel like your search and destroy is going to be very good. You come from a search and destroy background. Obviously, Insight does. The guy's been amazing at it since I remember Black Ops 4 champs, him and Kleenex when they came up. So I don't know. You think that'll be one of your stronger modes, search and destroy still, or are you kind of think it'll be
I think definitely search will be probably our best mode, just because it's just what I've been playing for my whole life. Since I've been 12, when I couldn't compete, it was just S&D chows all day. Get on, come home from school, S&D chows. So they're definitely going to be, it's probably going to be our best, I could say, but I think all of our game modes are going to be very good, because I think we have a really open-minded team. No one's really like a leader. We're probably the youngest team. We are the youngest team in the league. So I think we all go by the same mindset of we're like a team. There's no IGL. We're all IGLs, and I think that's what really makes us a really successful team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think CODs kind of changes that. Like, there used to be like these roles and like IGLs and like, oh, this guy is going to be the shot caller. I feel like now
too much
COD,
skill.
like,
there's way too much skill.
Yeah, there's too much. There's too much skill. Exactly. Like, everybody just needs to be doing everything, and I feel like that's kind of how some of these teams are built around. It's like there's no objective player. There's no IGL. It's just like everybody chime in. Everybody put 25% in. It's literally like you just got to put your part in and play your role, kind of, and just vibe with it. And I don't know. I'm excited to watch you guys play.
I'm excited to play.
I feel like that's like probably like esports or like maybe sports in general. Like, it's just like the standards are being risen every year, and you got to be able to do everything and to perform at that level. And people are just continuing to get better. The competitions continues to get better. Like, people are getting better and smarter every day. And it's like you said, everyone needs to be able to do
see it. You can see it every year.
Yeah,
like,
no.
MW, I'm not really too like familiar with, because I didn't play at all. Like, I just took the whole year off. But like, coming into Cold War, you could say like Jamie was disgusting. Like, he took like he took someone's spot. You come into this year, Pred came in, he took another spot, and then like, not to like gas me up, but like I come in and I'm taking spot. So it's like it's just people are dropping out the league. Like, you're just gonna see the league get younger and younger and younger. It's just this day and age now. So
I guess that leads me to ask, like, sitting here thinking about it, because I was going to bring that up. Like, I personally think it's a really good thing, right? Like, you obviously have all these young guns coming up. They're grinding through challengers. They're playing. But it puts almost more pressure on it. Like, obviously, you haven't fully experienced it yet, right? But I feel like there's no getting comfortable or, like, feeling too safe, I guess you would say, on an organization, right? Like, you literally are fighting for your spot every single day. It makes you work hard. It makes you actually grind. Like, if you're not working hard, bro, someone's going to take your spot. Like you just said, like 3 guys, you listed 3 guys. We could go on and on and on. It's like players are getting in and out every single day.
Yeah, I was working hard, and look at me, I'm out.
You ain't told no lie. Same here,
definitely
bro.
is one thing, like, with Toronto too, is like, we know, like, we lose like something, like, so we probably will make changes. Toronto's not like they say like, you're not all like they know, like, look Zinni, like, I'm so like Zinni got like switched, like they will make changes. But they will make changes. That's the point I'm making. But I think with us, like, we understand that, but we also, it's like the furthest thing in the back of our head, because we know, like, we don't want to think like that. It's all just progress. So it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal of the team. I feel like you don't ever want to think like that. You want to be like, we want to fix our mistakes. We want to get better as a team. We don't want that to be ever an option. But at the end of the day, like, for example, when I was in the league, like, we were thinking that way, but like when results just were not showing it, like, eventually the thought comes up and people start, someone on the team's going to question it, like, yo, maybe we should, replace this player or change this guy or drop this guy. It will make us better. When I'm like, I like your mindset where it's like, you can easily fix those little mistakes. Unless it's like a huge ass problem, you can easily improve and get better as a team. And I feel like that's what everyone should have.
Look at FaZe, right? Like, these guys literally got second. They were Silver Surfers last year. Then the year before, they're probably the most dominant team in the league without a question. It's like, it's always in the back of your head no matter what. When you're not like, everybody's in the, I would say 8 of the teams in the league, I don't know about all 12, but 8 to 9 of them are all very competitive, trying to win. And then some of the guys are kind of like, I don't know. They don't. I feel like they don't work as hard or make as many changes to like actually see that goal.
They're like trying to taste that, like what I call the Seattle status. Like, bro, they were like nothing for 2 years. Come in with a brand new, just whole new vibe. Bring in some new players and just try to fry. Like, that's what, like, I feel like the league now is super competitive. Like, very competitive.
Yep. It is.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing it, bro. From sitting back watching last year, like, you want to see those competitive games. I'll be honest. Whenever you have like an absolute garbage team in the bottom, like, it's just so. It's like the same thing in sports, bro. Who wants to watch a guaranteed win? Nobody. Especially with like the league matches being online, like. Nobody wants to pull up the YouTube stream and watch a boring ass match. Like, you want to see a competitive game, go game 5. Like, hell, bro, if we have 4 games that day and they all go game 5, round 11, I'm cool with it. At least it was a good day of COD, and like, you could say either team could have won. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting year. Speaking of like MW2, Scrap, you got to play the beta. You've probably played it a little bit, I would assume, based on my pro pass, how you kind of get to play the game a little bit. What are your thoughts of the game so far? Obviously, like, slide canceling is not going to be a thing. I'm not saying you ain't going to be good, but like, that was a thing in Vanguard.
Yeah, but
you can still slide cancel. But we all know it ain't the way to engage.
Yeah,
bro. We all
if someone's holding an iron on you, you're getting blasted. You're getting blasted. But I don't know. So I played the beta, but there's like, obviously the campaign came out. I'm pretty sure. And I've been getting told from like Jamie's played it, Toby's played it, that it's like slower and it's like kind of like a Cold War jumping. Like when you jump, you get like stuck in the mud now. But I
don't think it's gonna be like that.
I'm gonna be honest.
I don't either. I think I'm gonna be flying around bunnying, bro. Like just flying around.
Yeah, I think that's just a campaign thing.
Yeah, it felt so slow. I felt like you had ankle weight when I was playing that. I was like, this needs to be a lot faster and less clunky. I don't think that'll be it, though.
I think it's going to be a lot of irons.
I guess
a lot of irons. Like, and it's going to be just bunny hops around the map and irons. That's it. Like, so.
I mean, how'd you feel like if they don't touch the time to kill? What'd you think?
It's fast. It's very fast.
Bro, I was playing it. I told App when we were playing the beta, I was like, bro, if they don't change this time to kill, I could hop on after playing Warzone for 6 months and still kill pros no problem. Because if I'm ironed up,
it's
they
like
ain't
Ghost.
Me, bro.
It's really like Ghost. Like, bro, if you have a Remington cross map with someone with a sub, bro, like you have no chance. So it's.
And I'm curious, bro, like MW 2019, thinking about it too, like, bro, we saw so many M4s. I know you said you didn't play it too much, but the meta was like M4 no stock, like iron sight. Like, I don't know, if they don't fix it, I would be so curious to see if you'd see a lot of ARs if the guns are actually good and balanced if the time to kill is that quick.
I think they make changes every year, so I don't think like why they wouldn't. So
yeah, I feel you. I mean, how do you feel too about, like, obviously we're going into something that we've never experienced before. This game is literally a 2-year COD. Like, we've never seen it in Call of Duty history. I've been around for 10, 11 years. I know, App, you've been the same way. Like, I guess both of you, what are your thoughts now on Call of Duty being here for, like I said, 2 years in a row? Do you think there's a potential chance where it gets boring if they don't add new maps or new guns? Like, how are they going to keep fans and people involved with a game that's going to be going on for 700 plus days?
I'm not really too sure. Because I actually don't know, because I'm thinking about, like, I don't know when the off season is going to start now. And like, okay, all right, so we start ending in June or something like that. Okay, do we go all the way till December, or like, are we like, what are we doing? So I don't know. But I also am, one thing that I'm a really big believer in is just like, you got to stay in the moment. Like, whatever happens. You're not going to call up Activision with one phone call and say, yo, we should do this, and they're going to be like, all right, you're a genius. Like, it's just, might as well just stay in the moment and just do what you do what you can control. So
like, I mean, App, what do you think of it? Like I said, we've been around for a long time, bro. We're ancient here. I mean, how do you feel about the game being around for 2 years? Like, I mean, hell, if Scrappy's as good as he was at Vanguard and saw him for 2 years, like, you're chilling, bro. You can collect that back and live on.
I feel like that's one of the biggest things, right? Like, you at the end of the year, you're frying, or you've been frying all year, and then they move to the next game. It's like, damn, I got to get better again, or I got to learn all this stuff. But I feel like if you have momentum, I think that's a huge thing, just continuing the game. But other than that, I feel like maps are probably going to be added. New weapons are probably going to be added. I mean, there's going to be hopefully meta shifts and like some changes being done as we're playing to make the game like fresh and for the people competing to continue to have fun with it. I mean, I don't know how big the changes are going to be, but I think they're going to do a good job of like balancing the game. And basically, I don't know how you guys feel, but like, I feel like usually towards the end of a cycle of a Call of Duty, a lot of the times the game is finally like pretty good. They balance weapons, they made stuff better, they, better maps, and then the year ends, and it's like back to day one, starting that shit all over again.
I believe that too. Like, I really believe in it's gonna need new maps. It's like, I don't really understand 100%. What else they could really do without switching a whole game. Like, it's really just the maps and the guns. 100%. So.
You know what's crazy? I'm sitting there thinking about it, like why you said towards the end of the game it usually gets better. Also, towards the end of the game, a lot of the teams that are like completely checked out, maybe not making champs, like they are chalked. Like they stop trying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not all in. Yeah. You can't do that no more. Like with the game being the same, like you do not want to be in a position where even if your team's out of champs, or I don't know exactly how it's going to work this year, but like say you're in a really rough position, you still have to keep grinding, keep going hard, and like keep your foot on the gas. Because if you don't, like you may not be in the league next year. Like Scrappy was saying, like these teams are coming in, these players are coming in grinding. Like you have to keep going hard and keep frying the entirety of the year, even if you're in a terrible spot, because your league spot is on the line.
I also think like I don't like if a lot of like people in the league, I know their mentality. It's just play. Everyone wants to play. So I truly believe like if you don't make champs, or if it's gonna be like that, you don't make champs, you stop playing, because I know for a fact there's gonna be people who make champs, lose champs, and just play throughout the off season just because they just want to get this like advantage. So there's no done. Like if you stop playing, you're out the league. Like that's how it's gonna be. Like you're gonna get slammed.
That is crazy too, bro. Because like thinking about that, like you said, you don't know when the off season is. The game's not gonna, as far as like the mechanics go, that's not.
We can have a month break.
So, like you literally. you don't have a quote unquote off season no more. Like I know you've been chilling, playing Cold War chows, like vibing, just hanging out, probably just hanging out in the 6, like, but that's not gonna be a thing no more. Like your job is gonna be 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for the next 2 years. Like you aren't stopping. If all they do is add new maps and new guns, like, and everything else stays the same, people are gonna be grinding. So I low key feel bad for everybody. There ain't gonna be a single break. That's gonna be crazy. Well, I don't know. Happy, you got anything else on MW2? I'm down to kind of switch it up, have some fun with this conversation. I'm excited for MW2.
Yeah, we're good with MW2 for now. Move on to something else.
Absolutely. I mean, let's talk a little bit about life, Scrappy. Just kind of back in your day, kind of before everything kind of started happening with you, getting famous and whatnot, starting to fry. But
famous?
I guess, what would you do?
I'm not famous.
Hey, I mean, you
gotta give him some time. He's about to blow up.
He's got the Roddy on his back, but like I guess what would you be doing if you weren't playing COD? Like if this wouldn't have happened, if you wouldn't have I don't know, been in the spot to like get in the pro league and whatnot, would you have done the normal college? Like just on some real life
This is pretty
stuff?
crazy.
Like,
this is actually very crazy because you said, what would you not be doing if I played COD? I don't know because when I was a freshman in high school, I told my mom I'm not going to college. I'm gonna try to become a pro. I just couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't compete yet until I turned 18 my senior year. So I told her like I'm not going to college. She knew because I have 2 brothers. My oldest brother he went to like trade school and he wasn't really big into school. My middle brother went to college, but my mom was not going to force me through like that, like typical college route. She really just is. She supports me through all this, and she was a big supporter of it. So awesome. She was, and my dad said too, just like chase your dreams. So I chased my dream, and so I really don't know what I would be doing because I was not going to college.
I respect it, bro.
I gotta say something real quick, man. I feel like when you have no option B and you put your back against the wall, man, I feel like that's when you really find success. Like you said, like you had no other plans. It's like, I'm gonna be a pro and that's it. I feel like when you have that mentality and you're like that driven, that's when you make like dreams happen.
It was just like it's either this is gonna work or I can't even tell you what I would be doing because I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah,
100%. I respect it, bro. I mean, App, you and I talk about it all the time. Like we said in the beginning of the show too, it's like mindset's everything, whether it's streaming, content creation, being a professional, like whatever it may be in life. I feel like if you do put your mindset to it and like your best foot forward and believe like you're going to do something, I think you can do it. And I mean, I don't know. Mindset takes you a long way, Scrap. So I definitely tip it. I think it'll be a huge thing going into this season. But talking about the season again a little bit, I guess with the CDL, Scrap, I like asking you fun questions. You always give me real answers. Are there like 3 people, I guess, or maybe it's not 3, maybe it's just a handful or whatever you think, that you're kind of shocked that aren't in the league, like specific players? Maybe they retired, maybe Cram, maybe guys that stopped playing or just even didn't get a spot or in a substitute position? Or do you just think that everybody deserves to be in the league right now?
Well, one is Mo. Mo should definitely be in the league. Like, there's no Mohawk. Like, I'm sorry, but you win 2 world championships and challengers. Like, you're the next up. Like, you are the next up by far.
That's crazy.
And so, like, I would say him. One thing about Krim is I don't know if I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. Krim just talks too much, yo. If he just shut up, dude, he would have a league spot every year for the rest 100%. Of his life. But that's that's definitely surprising though. Like, dude, he's the most winning player of all time. Like, it's surprising. Yeah.
I was shocked, bro. When I saw his tweet, I was like, wait, dude, the GOAT's done? Like, this guy literally won the most championships of all time.
Right after I seen the whole thing happen in New York, I was like,
I'm getting old.
Now I'm thinking about it, like, this guy he talks shit to everyone. Not just, like, talk shit, but, like, he's like, you're fucking actually terrible. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, relax.
Yeah. It's
like, relax. But, I don't know. Challenger, like, there's definitely a few people, maybe in Europe that deserve a spot. I'm not too sure. I don't really think about that. I think about myself.
You're a fraud.
I think about myself. I don't mean to be like selfish, but this is selfish. This is a selfish place to be. That you need to be selfish to get places. It's just how it is. So,
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I want to speak about the Mo thing a little bit.
Yeah,
like, I'm glad you brought that up. I remember quoting his tweet whenever he tweeted out like he was looking slow. He wasn't going to be in the league. Like, I guess from like Brian, you and I can speak on this because we both denied challengers, said we didn't want to play it. Yeah. I guess like. I don't understand what else he's supposed to do realistically, right? Like he is in the AM scene for 2 years. Scrap, you've played with him. You had a lot of success with him. The only thing you're supposed to do in challengers is prove yourself and like prove you have the ability to win. Going back to Cold War, he was very successful towards the end of the game. He had a slow start, started doing extremely well. Then same thing with last year. He's very consistent throughout the start. Did extremely well through the entirety of the year this time. Still won AM champs back-to-back years. The guy still doesn't get picked up. Like, I get there's like a stigma thing, and like App, you and I have spoke about it a lot. Like, if these coaches or people have like an opinion on a player, it really hurts your chances of getting in the league. Like, I don't know how you feel, App, but I can surely as hell say if it was me in his position, I would be all over Twitter, all over social media. Like, what else is he supposed to do? Like, seriously, like, he's still not in the league, and the guy has won back-to-back years everything he can.
There's got to be like connections, maybe like networking, like talking to people. I feel like Mo, I don't know too much about Mo. I know he's been winning, but like, is he maybe he's a kept to himself type of person, doesn't talk to like
100%
or coaches 100%. Much, maybe.
Mo is super quiet. He is super quiet. He talks to. So it's my circle. He talks to Inder, Dashi, maybe like Tej, and like that's it. Like if you're not in the team speak with him, he like even if you're in the whole team speak, if you're not in his channel, he's not gonna go talk to you. He's not gonna purposely go like talk to you. So he's very like quiet, especially on Twitter and stuff like that.
Twitter and everything, yeah, it's like we talk about it. People joke around about it being like a friendly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's a perfect example of like someone who's frying, someone who's doing well in the challenger scene, and teams could potentially pick him up, but maybe even like a sub, or I don't know if he got an offer as a sub, but I feel like he definitely should have deserved it. Like
he's also not like he's not a quiet person. Like Josiah, you've talked to him. Like he'll talk to you. He'll have a conversation with you. But that's only if you go and talk to him. So he's actually a very good like person to like play with. Like he's a very good like backline to have.
I've seen a little bit. Yeah.
100%. I mean, he's a good kid, bro. I remember sitting there, again, back to the Pro-Am. Scrap, when he was on your team, he won
1v3.
Zinni's team, game 5, or 1v3.
5-4.
Game 5 had the reaction. Dude, this guy 5'4", 1v3's App. I'm not joking you, bro. He's sitting there, dead sound, nothing. He literally clutches 1v3, 5'4", closes the game 6-4. He literally goes like this. Closes fist up, fist bumps the guy. I was like,
job ain't done yet.
This guy's ice cold, dog. He didn't even care. He was like, we won. Who cares? Fist bump. Like, he didn't. I was mind blown. I'm like, this guy is stone cold.
He's on demon time.
Yeah, he is. So, I don't know. I hope for sure, like, for his sake, he definitely gets a shot this year. Whether it's like I said, maybe it's I don't know, AM spot or whatever it is, a freaking substitute. Yeah. I don't care. Something. I hope he gets a shot to prove what he can do. Definitely. I mean, it's definitely well and long overdue. So we will see, I guess, this year. Hopefully he can continue to iron, like you said. Maybe bunny hops and iron. This will be his game for the third year in a row. And like, he'll be able to do something crazy. Absolutely.
I have a random question for you. What is the craziest / weirdest interaction you've ever had with a pro, or like maybe the first time you talked to a pro?
First time I talked to a pro, probably the Toronto guys. Yeah, because I came to Minnesota. That was my first like major LAN. And, like, we just went out to dinner because we were just the academy team. So, yeah.
Speaking of the events and whatnot, Scrap, I guess I probably know your answer to this, but is there any event? I know you were traveling with the team last year. Really looking forward to, other than maybe the Toronto one, because I know you'll probably say playing. The home crowd would be sick. Obviously, with the CDL now and COVID being kind of slowing down a little bit, you can play in front of the home crowd. Is there anything else you're looking forward to?
This is like my first year. But my mom's never came to like a major last year, my parents or anyone, because it was just like my mom doesn't like that atmosphere of like everyone screaming at each other in the like passion pit. She doesn't like that. So she really hated the videos of like when I came out like screaming at people. She hated it. But I just kept going. I don't care. Like I don't care.
Does she hit you with the like?
Yeah, like just know like you have people watching you. I'm like, I know. Trust me, I know. But so they're gonna come to. My mom's probably gonna come to almost every event. So, but I think my brother's also a big thing. My oldest brother, he really wasn't into COD. When I was in the amateur scene last year, like in Cold War, so he had nothing. He only really started like when I started winning. Like when I started winning, he was like, "Oh, this is a real thing." Like now, I started to make a little bit of money. I can start paying for things, paying for myself. And they're going to be coming to Boston. I don't live too far from Boston. It's like a 4-hour drive, so I think Boston's going to be up there.
That's not bad.
Or just any event that my family comes to, I can't wait for.
Yeah, I can't lie. Even going back to days when I was competing, like having your family there, I don't know what it is, dude. Like, I swear it gives you that like extra motivation. It's like, dude, they came all this way to watch you. Like,
and my mom's telling me, oh yeah, well, we'll probably just come for Saturday. I'm like, what? Oh, like hold up, Mom. Like we need to start from the start of the tournament. Like it would like. The worst comes to worst. Like I'm out Friday. Like I told her, and she was like, all right. Like I got you. So.
Absolutely. I mean, is there a spot, I guess, too, like for COD champs? Obviously, they've been all over. LA's been a popping spot for majority of them. Is there a spot you'd like to see champs held? Maybe that's out of the ordinary, or you kind of like the vibe that?
I would love to go to Europe, but I don't really think that's gonna happen because I've never been to Europe. So maybe like the biggest event is in Europe. Also, the fans there are nuts. You look at any European sport is nuts. Maybe like London or something. I would love to go to.
Bro. Jerry, like when we used to go to Europe events, bro, the crowd is insane.
Dude, it is electric. I remember speaking about like Luminosity days. I had the whole crowd against me, bro. We had that EU Tommy was up there. He's like, "What do we think of LG? Shit. What do we think of shit?"
Yo,
LG.
That's one of the weirdest things that's ever happened in COD. Like, are you talking about like the
100%
the seaside? The seaside thing? That is one of the craziest things that's ever happened.
I know. It was a crazy bug where, like, I remember at the end of Control, I think it was like 2-2, I want to say. And, like, if you were on the point or, like, if the game basically didn't end, it didn't register. And I grav slammed, like, FaZe Clan, and they were...
it was like you both got the win limit or, like, the win condition, but it just gave you guys the win. Yep. And it was like, oh, geez, this is about to be a free-for-all.
And they technically, I think, should have got the win, and it was super awkward and weird. And, like, I remember they took us to the back, and they were like, all right, well, we're going with what the game says. And
I'm saying, that's my win. See, victory on my screen.
I'm like, I can't. When stuff like that happens in COD, I feel like they got to do a full reset or something, because it can get feisty, bro, between, like, the teams and all the decision-making and, like, fans. It gets bad. Let me ask you about Eli. I guess he's kind of got like the optic enemy from last year. He's kind of maybe got a little chip on his shoulder. Is that just nothing to you? Does you think it's nothing to him? Does he talk about it?
He talked about it once. He talked about the New York event when he like got up and then like they were all against him, and he loves it. It gets him playing better. That's what I'm excited for. It's going to get me playing better. Even if people are coming at me, I've never had it, but I'm ready for it. And Eli he's ready. He's come back here. He's ready to play too. He knows what he can bring to a team, and I feel like last year on Minnesota he couldn't really show what he had. It was kind of like he was kind of like this role where it was just like he has to really. Like, he had players on his team where they were the slayers. They were pushing out, and they were getting the kills. And it was kind of like he took the back seat kind of. But that's not how Eli is, and that's not how our team is. That's not how we're going to be like, take the back seat. No one takes the back seat on this team. It's you do. If you want to do something, you do it. Like, that's how it is. Because I'm a firm believer in... That's how you play your best. You want to do something, you do it. Even if it's the wrong play, I'm down. If you want to run down, run down middle, let's do it. Who cares, bro? So... I can't wait to see Eli come back this season and actually like show people what he's made of. Like, people forget quickly like how like
year to year.
You are as good as your last match played in Call of Duty. That is a fact, bro. Like, if you're terrible at COD champs, you're the worst player of all time. Like, that's just how it goes, bro. Like,
that's how we're talking about. You remember we were talking about that and with FaZe in the Vanguard season, Jerry. We were talking about how like they were getting second, third, and people were like starting to say these guys are like the worst teams, or like they suck now. It's like. They just got back-to-back second place.
They're like, these teams are great. The world, change. I'm like, bro, what are we watching the same game? Like, are we not happy with second no more? Like, these guys are literally beating every team in the game, but okay, they lost to Optic. All right, they're the worst ever. Like, I don't know. The stigma hopefully will change.
It will never change. It will never change.
It's not, bro. Like, it's not, so...
Unfortunately.
I don't know. App, you got anything else? I mean, we talked about a little bit of everything. We talked about a lot. Talked about his past, talked about the future, and I like the mindset, Scrap. I like how you're going to stay in the moment, and I wish you the best of luck, man. Hopefully you can do your thing this year with Toronto.
I gotta say one thing, man. You gotta keep up the confidence, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel like throughout my career, I let go a little bit on the confidence, and I feel like that's what put me down, man. You gotta stay confident. You gotta believe in yourself.
But you can't get complacent. That's a big thing. Can't get complacent.
Yeah,
I like
complacency
it,
will
always get better.
I like the mindset. I like the mindset, Scrapple. Unless you got anything else, bro, family, friends, whatever, man. If you want to give a little shout out to the squad, whatever. If not, totally
shout out to my mom, my parents, my brothers, everyone that supports me, my teammates, everyone that lives here, makes my life easier. Yeah, boys, let's have a good year.
Scrap, thank you for coming on, brother. We appreciate it. Like I said, I wish you the best of luck this year. Hopefully you can do your thing. You got the Roddy chip on your shoulder. Hopefully you'll be able to come out and show out and do what you're doing in Vanguard. Thank you for coming on the show, Brian. Yep. Thank you for being beautiful and being on the show with me, brother. Absolutely. And thank you, everybody who was watching. Thank you guys for watching this episode of First Blood. You guys can check us out on iTunes and Spotify or live. And drop in the comments down below who you guys would like to see.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be the end of the First Blood episode. Again, thank you guys all for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace. See ya.